Hello, and welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley. For the next hour, we are going to conclude our series, which I have been conducting this week, looking at the TOEFL speaking exam. Today, we are going to focus on the final two questions. That is, I should say, questions 5 and 6, the final two questions on the TOEFL speaking exam. Now, these two questions are like 3 and 4 integrated questions. Questions 3 and 4 involve reading and listening, and then responding, doing some comparative work with the reading and the listening. Questions 5 and 6 involve just listening. Now you're only going to hear it once, so pay attention. Make notes. It's not advice, really. Okay, it's 100%. I'm sure you will do better if you make notes. The key is to pick up the main points that you hear. In short, one-word keywords that will help you remember, so that you can discuss. Basically, questions 5 and 6 are reported speech. Well, no, let me amend that. Sorry. Question 5, you have to give your report a little, and then give your opinion. Make a choice and support your opinion. That's actually the more important part. Question 6 is basically straight up reported speech. In these two questions, you have 20 seconds of preparation time to compose your thoughts and 60 seconds speaking time. It's all about the clock. In the entire speaking exam, you've got to fill up the clock. If you pause for 5 or 10 seconds before you start speaking, when the clock is on, you're going to lose points. If you finish 10 seconds before the clock expires, you're going to lose points. You've got to fill up the clock. Those are some basic important points. Okay, let me welcome. Hi, Turkey. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Okie doke. Doing okay. Are you looking at taking a TOEFL exam or any other standardized English exam?
Yes. I will take the TOEFL IBT the second time, or once more, and
Okay.
the IELTS. Yes.
And the IELTS as well. Oh my goodness. Well, you glutton for
Yes.
punishment.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Because the last TOEFL exam I took like 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Yes, 3 years
3 years.
ago, and yes, like evil exam, and yeah, now I just prepare for take another one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Basically, today in our class, we're going to walk through it. All right. We're not really doing the up to speed exam. We're going to walk through it. We're going to look at transcripts so we can kind of analyze and talk about the things to listen for, the things to make notes about, and like that.
Yes.
All right. Let's get to it then. Okay. I'm going to do a screen share, and let's talk about questions 5 and 6. Okay, question 5. It's another conversation. It's dialogue question. You're going to listen to a dialogue and then work off that. All right. In question 5, there's going to be 2 people talking. There's going to be a problem. That's it.
Okay.
It's always the same. For me, question 4 is the hardest question because you don't quite know what to expect and you can't really plan exactly a template of how you're going to respond. Question 5, definitely you should know going into the exam exactly what you're going to say because it's always the same. 2 people, usually a man and a woman, makes it easier to reference, are discussing a problem. One person has a problem, the other person makes 2 suggested solutions. you have to show, you have to express which solution you would prefer and support your choice. So in a
Okay.
way, a little bit similar to question 2. Okay, so let's jump right in. If you can help me out here, let's read the template together. Sorry, transcript, not template. Let's read the transcript together, and we can
Okay.
reference it. All right. Okay, of course, there's a narrator, and the narrator introduces it. The narrator says, "Listen to a conversation between two students." Yeah, and then the conversation begins. I'm not afraid, Turkey. I'll be the woman.
Okay.
You can be the man.
Okay. Okay. It looks like I've got a big problem on my hands.
Yeah, what's wrong?
I think I overbooked myself this semester. I took 5 classes, and 2 of them are really uh, demanding. I have 2 really big projects due, and I don't think I can do both of them.
Okay, time out just a second. Let me quickly say hi to Ken. Hi, Ken.
Yes, hello.
Hi. Ken, hi, welcome to the class. Turkey and I are
Yes.
doing the dialogue. Pay attention because we're going to answer questions about the dialogue in a minute. Okay. All right, Turkey, we're back on. Oh, no. It really sounds like you've got a lot of stuff on your plate. Have you talked to your professors yet?
No, I don't see. No, I don't see how that would help.
Well, you could ask for an extension. Last semester, I asked Professor Miller for an extension in on my psychology project. She was really nice about it and gave me 2 more weeks to finish it.
I could do that, but I can't take extension forever. The fact is that I still have a lot of work to do for these classes.
I guess, but it could help you open up your schedule for now, so you're not so stressed out, you know?
Right.
Of course, there is one other option, but it's kind of drastic. You could drop one of the classes and take it next semester. It's still early enough to do it.
That could work, but I really didn't want to think about it, but I may have to.
Okay, so there it is. There's the dialogue. It's always the same in question 5 on the TOEFL exam. There's a problem. Always has to do with something with college life, dormitory life, university life, somehow related to that, maybe related to courses, maybe related to living situations, the cafeteria, parking, who knows, whatever. And one person has a problem, the other person gives 2 solutions. Your job as you listen is to make notes and capture in your notes and in your brain the 2 possible solutions. The question is always going to be the same, so you can basically template your response. Here's the question. The students discuss 2 possible solutions to the problem. All right? Follow the directions. Describe the problem. You must do that. State which of the 2 solutions you prefer. You must do that. 1, 2, and why. 3. 1, 2, 3. You have 3 things that you have to do to get an optimum score. Hey, Sam. Welcome to the class. Hello, hello. Hi there.
Hello. Good
Hello.
morning again.
Oh, morning. Good afternoon. Whatever. Okay. Good morning again. Okay. Turkey, since you are actually preparing for the TOEFL exam, all right, I'm going to let you try it. You want to give this a try?
Okay, the student discussed 2 possible solutions to the problem, describe the problem, and state which of the 2 solutions. Okay, I prefer to speak with my professor to give me like 2 weeks or 1 week to help me to find plenty of time to do my project or something like that.
All right.
And after that, after I find out about it, the professor, if he or she agreed with me and gave me like 1 week or 2 weeks, yes, I will take that opportunity and do my stuff and organize everything. And if she or he refused or reject my order, I will drop the yes, some class or some subject, and I take it the next semester.
Ah, okay. I am going to help you out right now. Okay, did you describe the problem? No. You just lost a third of your score.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you say which of the solutions you would prefer? Yes, you did. Did you explain
Yes.
why you chose the solution? No. You said what you would do after. Congratulations, you just lost 2/3 of your score. You'd be lucky to get
Okay.
a 1.
That's why I'm here. Yeah.
You've got to do what they're asking you to do, buddy.
Yes.
Okay. Secondly, big piece of advice, general piece of advice. On these exams, IELTS, TOEFL, etc., when they give you a choice of 2 things, it is very tempting to say, well, in this case I'll do this, in the other case I'll do something else. It's tempting to do that because that's logical, and it may be what you really would actually do in real life. This is not real life. This is an exam. Your job is really not to tell the truth and give an answer. It has nothing whatsoever to do with correct answers. They are analyzing your speaking, not your answer. Much easier to pick one and stick with it when you're given a choice between 2 things. And that goes for writing as well as speaking. And that goes for every one of these standardized exams.
Okay, must I lie to
Sure.
be an actor within the exams? Okay.
The correct answer in a speaking exam is not what is true. The correct answer is what is easier for you to talk about. What do you have more vocabulary to discuss? What do you have more specific, detailed information that you can share? That's
Yes.
the right answer, no matter what you feel.
To show the examiner how you express yourself and how range of vocabulary you have, and use the different sentences and times, like
That's it.
past, perfect. Yes, yeah. Okay,
That's
I
it.
got it.
Ken, you were here, I think, in time to hear almost the entire dialogue. Do you want to give this a try?
Yes, but I didn't pay attention to
Ken!
but yeah, as far as I understood, yeah, I would answer
Ken!
yes. Sorry, I was preparing my computer, so.
All right, fair enough. Okay, Sam, were you watching, or you came a little bit late? Maybe you don't know the material.
Yes. It's
All right.
my words also same. Like
Okay, no problem.
yes.
All right,
You
well,
can say that you use my words in a idiom. How we can say that?
sorry, I'm sorry.
Yes, we normally use a idiom about that. You know,
About what?
about you use my words, or how I can say that? I sorry, I forget.
I'm lost. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yes.
sure what you're talking about. Okay, let's walk through it again and look at a templated response, and let's kind of walk through it, and then we'll try another one here. But okay. Okay, the conversation opens up. Someone says, I have a problem. They're always going to say that. The other person will always say, yeah, what's the problem? You must discuss the problem, so make notes. What is the problem? Overbooked myself. Okay, so if you're making notes, maybe you just write down the word overbooked, or too many classes, or too big projects due. It could be any of those things, all right, as long as it's close enough. It doesn't have to be exactly correct. You just have to get the gist, the general idea of the problem. Write it down because you can make notes. Yeah, overbooked. Sam, if a plane is overbooked, the plane has 82 seats and they sell 92 seats. They do that all the time, intentionally, by the way. Plane flights are generally overbooked because they think some people are going to cancel. If you overbook yourself, then you schedule yourself with too much to do. You can't possibly do everything. If a plane is overbooked, you can't possibly take that many passengers. Too much. Okay, once you've captured the problem, now your mission is to capture the two solutions. Question 5 on the TOEFL exam is always the same. There's always a problem. There's always two solutions provided by the other speaker. Yes, they will. Be aware that this example we're looking at is a very straightforward and basic example. In the actual exam, there are a lot more distractive sidebars and I thought I saw your sister on campus yesterday. No, that wasn't her. Thank God she's not here. I have so many problems. Okay, there's nothing to do with the sister. These kind of red herrings. All right, a red herring is just a distracting thing that has nothing to do with anything and is not actually part of the question. Be aware that they will use red herrings to trick you and trap you and get you talking about things that have nothing to do with the question. This example is very straightforward. You got a lot to do, yeah, okay. Well, you could ask for an extension. If you're making notes, maybe write down the word extension. All right, I personally, when I'm making notes, I write R1 or P1, reason 1, or point 1. And then I write D1, maybe psychology project, she got 2 weeks. I don't have to discuss this, but if I can add extra details, if I pick up extra details, it's really helpful. Gives me more to talk about and fill up my minute of speaking time. So, all right, I write down extensions. If I just wrote down overbooked, extension, there's one other option, drop. I could answer this question by writing notes, those 3 words. Overbook, extension, drop. I could handle it. It's really all you need, basically. Okay. Now, again, you've got 3 tasks. Describe the problem, make a statement, a clear, clean statement of which solution you would choose, and then the brunt or the most important thing is the last one. Strangely, well, not strangely, I guess it's, if you think about it, it's logical. And in a general concept that you should be aware of in this speaking test, when you have a speaking task that involves 1, 2, 3, 4 things that you have to do, the most important thing is always last. They always do that because generally many students won't get to it. That happens. I mean, they do that on purpose. It's another way of causing you to get a lower score. Okay, so let's look at a templated response. In question 5, you really can template your response. There's no right or wrong answer. Whichever one you can talk more cleanly and clearly about. Okay, task 1, state the problem. Such as this, the man's problem is he has 2 projects due at the same time. Really doesn't matter if you say the man's problem is that he is overbooked for the semester. The man's problem is he doesn't have enough time to get his schoolwork done. The man has an issue with the fact that he has taken too many classes this semester. Any of those will work. It doesn't have to be exact, but just notice that it is one simple, direct sentence. Get this out of the way. 5 seconds, maybe. Clock is ticking. All right, state the solution. Solutions. You have to say both of them. State them. Okay, his friend offers 2 possible solutions. He can ask for an extension or he can drop the class. You can just quickly get this out of the way. His friend suggests either he get an extension or he drops the class. Get it out of the way. Again, the main part is actually supporting your opinion. All right, you're not required to state the solution, but you're doing this to make it more clear and organized and easy to understand. You should do this. Again, you're going to, here we go, another 5 seconds. Clock is ticking. State your preference clearly, cleanly. Do not say, I think you should do this because. If you do that, if you use because, you're joining your preference and your first reason together. It can't, you'll lose points if you do that. You need a single sentence. This is basically an introductory sentence. Finish it, period. Don't combine it with your reasons. All right? I think asking for an extension is a better solution. Notice in this example how economical, clear, to the point. There's nothing fancy going on here. The TOEFL exam is very direct. This is how it's different than IELTS. In IELTS, it allows you to be colorful and experiment with your language, experiment with your sentence construction and your vocabulary. TOEFL is not like that. It's quite a different test. What they are scoring you on and expecting is a very structured, almost robotic response. Boring as hell. Absolutely. This is the most boring test ever. I hate this test, to be perfectly honest. It allows for no creativity whatsoever. It's very direct. The more boring you are, the better you're going to do on this test, frankly. All right. State your preference. You must do that. It was part of the question. The problem, your preference, and now the most important part. Again, you have 1 minute to say all this. This first part, before you get to the reasons why, should take maybe 15 seconds. You want about 45 seconds to explain your reasons why, because this is the part where you can add detail, vocabulary, maybe different verb tenses. This is where you get to show off your English. The first 15 seconds must be done to correctly answer the question, but the last one is the last 45 seconds, your reason why, is really what you're getting scored on. All right. All right. Well, for example, an extension is better because dropping the class is too drastic. It seems silly to drop the entire class just because of one conflict. Reason, detail. In questions 1 and 2, where you're just basically talking about your favorite whatever. In question 1, you're choosing a preference. Would you choose cold weather or hot weather? Choose one. Give a reason, give detail. Reason, detail, reason, detail, reason, detail. This is a basic template. Actually, you can use this in IELTS too. It's really the same idea. You clearly state your reason. It's a good idea to use signal words or signal phrases, missing in this example, but first of all, an extension is better. Secondly, or I think the first point would be, another point might be, use these kinds of introductory phrases. It enhances your organization, clear speech. It does a lot of things. It requires you to use a certain intonation. It expands your vocabulary use. It's just really a good idea. Okay. Reason 2, detail 2. I also think an extension is better because the professor will probably give the student one. The woman told of a similar situation and she was able to get an extension. All right, if you captured some detail, okay, the woman talked about her Professor Miller who gave her a 2-week extension in her psychology course. Great. If you remember 2 weeks psychology, this is where this comes in handy to add the detail. And this is where you're scoring your points. This is the difference between a possible 3 score and a 4 score, the detail. That's it. Okay. Every time, this question is exactly the same every single time. Problem to solutions. You can completely template your response. Problem, what are the solutions, which one you choose, and then your reasons. All right. So let's Let's try another one here. Actually, okay. Sam and Ken, can you guys do the conversation here?
Yes.
Sam, you can be the woman. Ken, you can be the man.
Yes,
Sam?
sure.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Sam.
Okay. Just read, right?
Yep.
Yes. Did you hear about the school's new parking policy? It is going to be a problem.
No, I don't drive, so what's the deal with it?
Well, they changed the rules so that freshmen have to park all the way down near the athletics center. That's so far away.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. I think because the seniors have complained that there is not enough parking on the main campus. All I know is that's going to be a big inconvenience for me.
Is there anywhere else you can park? I mean, the athletic center is pretty far. Maybe you can park off campus.
I don't know. I think I would be afraid that something would happen to my car. I don't use it all the time, so it would be unattended for a lot of time.
I guess I didn't think of that. I have an idea. Maybe you could find a garage for the car. It probably wouldn't cost any more than you pay now for a parking tag.
Maybe, but I would have to find a garage close enough to campus that I could walk to.
Okay, very good. Both you guys, this word is a little bit weird. Garage. Unlike most
Garage.
two-syllable nouns have
Mhm.
first syllable stress, but this is one of those weird words I think adopted from another language, so it has second syllable stress. Garage, and it has the j sound like television. Garage. So the G is making a weird sound, not normal. The second G. Okay. Did you? All right. Just to review. Okay. Problem. Turkey. What's the problem? In one word.
Yes, teacher. I quite that with you. So okay. I didn't know actually the problem is.
Okay. Ken. What's the problem?
Problem is the parking lot changed the parking problem.
Okay. Sam. What were the two solutions?
Yes, the solution is to find a garage, number one.
Okay.
Mhm.
And the other one?
And the other one is, sorry, I forget.
That is why you have to make notes. Even I would forget. I could never do this test without making notes. I have a terrible short-term memory, really horrible.
Okay, and I think the other one is to
Well, where is it? Here it is.
yes. So I think athlete park.
Maybe you can
Yes,
park
off
off
campus.
There you go. That's it. Okay.
Away from. Yeah.
So it is obviously crucial that you capture the problem and you capture the solutions. Otherwise, you're just guessing. If you don't capture those things, you're looking at a raw score of 2. A possible raw score, best possible raw score on this exam is 4 per question. You got nothing to talk about if you don't capture the 2 solutions, because that's the essential part of the question.
I have a question. Yes.
Yeah.
For example, in this test, IELTS test or TOEFL test, TOEFL. So they need only a problem. But for example, a man, he has a problem about car parking, and he has only one problem, right? And there is 2 solutions.
That's right.
Yes. Yes, the same is like that in previous slides. because I think that was the same problem, that one problem and two solution, right?
Same
No,
thing. Yeah.
yes, and same thing is okay. And how we can write the main words, the same is like that. You said that before, overbook and drop out and like that. How we can write? Is it enough time for writing these things, all these things?
How can we? Well, that's not how we can. How can we?
Okay. How
Yeah.
can we? Okay.
All right. How can we? Well, you know what? You need to practice. That's a very,
Oh.
very good point.
Mhm.
If you don't practice, you probably can't. You probably really struggle. You need to practice, I don't know, watching the evening news and making notes while you watch the news.
Mhm.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yeah, Turk.
According to my experience, I didn't have any time to write anything because it was like stressful exam and yes, that's true. Most difficult.
I
They
know. Yeah, you're right.
they gave me like a piece of paper and like
That's right.
beautiful pens, but I didn't use them.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Man. Souvenirs. Sure. They gave
Yes.
you souvenirs. Yay.
But okay, I after the exam, yes, I like suffer for because I can't because I couldn't write because I didn't practice writing.
There you go.
Yes, you must practice writing more than exam itself.
That's
Because
right.
yes,
That's right.
you must maybe take 1 month to listen to any like English rate of speech and try to make note as possible you can, like
That's right.
and after that you can speed up your writing and noting techniques. I think it's more techniques, not
Technique, and
related to it.
everybody, note taking, everybody has their own style. I use circles and arrows and underlines and numbers. Everybody's going to have their own note taking style, and it's something you need to practice. So I can't really
Yeah.
give you a specific answer, but you need to practice. Another thing which you just reminded me of, thank you, practice speaking while other people are talking around you and distracting you. Okay, have dinner with your family and tell your entire family to start talking. Everybody tell me about your day at the same time, and at the same time you tell them about your day, and don't
Yes,
get
true.
distracted. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, because in that room you have like 18 students, all of them speak at the same time, and sometimes if you didn't practice that situation, you can't do anything with the speaking, even
right.
if your English very good.
That's right. So you need to practice note taking while listening. You need to practice speaking while you have distractions. There are things that nobody tells you to practice or think about. I'm telling you right now, there are elements that have nothing to do with English that you need to actually get ready for and prepare for. Absolutely. Okay. Anyway, let's try this out. Ken, do you want to give it a try? Do you remember the problem, two solutions, and why? And remember, here's your template to help you out here. Okay, go for it, man.
What is the question?
What is the question? It's always the same. Okay, remember the conversation again. We'll review because we got a little distracted. Parking problem, solutions: park off campus or garage. It's really all you need to know. The question, part 5, question 5 is always the same. You must describe the problem. You must state the two solutions. You must tell which one you prefer, and you must explain why. Here it is. So this is the question. Follow the template. This is the answer.
How many minutes?
One of them. Yeah. And I'll time you. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, this problem is the parking lot changed. So the women have to park far away from the classroom building. So there's two solutions of this. One solution is park off campus. Another solution is kind of rent parking a garage close to the campus, that building. I would prefer renting garage off campus because it's safer. Because women worry about someone might cause a problem to her car. It could happen if she parked off campus, her car off campus. So I prefer the solution, renting garage close to the building.
Time. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Definitely could have been worse. Could have been a little better, but not bad, Ken. Good job. Okay, let me give you a little feedback. In regards to timing, first of all, you took 15 seconds to say the problem. You can be much more general. This is not the place for detail. You were adding a little bit of detail. Just say, who was it, the woman or the man? Now I don't remember. Whoever. Okay, the man has an issue with parking his car at the university. Very direct. Get it out of the way. Should only take you like 5 seconds. Then you did the same thing with the solution. Again, you need to be very direct and take maybe another 5 seconds. You were 30 seconds into the question, into your time, by the time you had given the solutions. You haven't even given your preference yet or your reasons why, and you're already 30 seconds in. So get these first 3 things out of the way, really maximum of 15 seconds. You took 40 seconds to do these first 3 things, which only left you 20 seconds for the part that's actually getting scored. All right? The man has an issue with parking at the university. The woman states he could either park off campus or get a garage spot. Either or is very useful here. I would prefer to put my car in a garage. The first reason being blah, blah, blah. Now, see, I got that out of the way and I only took 10 or 15 seconds. Now I have plenty of time to add detail. I can do fancy things like saying, for example, when I was at university, I parked my car in a garage every day and it never was vandalized. I never had any problem with it. I had another friend, and he would park his car on the street, and his car got stolen once and robbed like 3 times. Okay, that's lots of detail. I'm using different verb tenses. I'm using modals, would. I got a chance to really show off my English, and that's the whole point. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Sam, you want to try this one? Now that Ken has done all the hard work and you know what to do, you want to give it a shot?
Yes, same or different?
Same. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. State the problem. Number 1, a man who have a issue of car parking in a campus, and the solution is he can hire a garage out of campus, or another solution is he has to away car parking from a campus. Wow.
Yes. Yes. Now you've got through the first 2 points. You got a long way to go. State your preference. Which one would you choose?
Yes, car parking away from campus is much better than hiring a garage.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Reason is that hiring a garage is because you pay money, and campus away car parking you just take time for car parking, and you don't pay any money.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. To get a maximum score, it is absolutely necessary that you give at least 2 reasons. I should have mentioned
Mhm.
that to Ken as well.
Okay.
Ken, another thing you did, which is okay, nothing wrong with it. Ken gave a conclusion, and that's why I would choose a garage. Whatever you said there. In this exam, in the TOEFL exam, a conclusion is only useful. You can see the clock ticking down, 60, 59, 58,
Mhm.
57. You could.
No, but it's not possible. I think that where is Turkey? He has gone. You know that there is no time because I have a pair, not in TOEFL test but other tests. For example, how we say GRE.
Yeah.
GRE. Yes,
I know exactly.
yes. It's very difficult because there were only written and we at that time it's very difficult. You just read and you have to pick the right answer, right or wrong. You don't know because, but it's very stressful when you are going.
Yeah, it is.
If you are try to count the time, you lost your time. You know.
Yeah,
Yes, it's not
absolutely.
possible, and especially when you are talking. In right now, you can see we are here, we are at home, we are very relaxed, we are listening a lot, and then at the
Uh,
end there is no how we say that a better solution or conclusion or what.
no repercussions.
Yes.
You won't be punished. That's
Nobody,
true.
yes, and there is
That's true.
no yes. If I don't reply my right answer or wrong, I couldn't get any marks. Yeah, but
Right.
it's still the problem is same. I
Yeah.
can't explain. Yes, and if it is
True.
possible, this kind of especially classes, it's tough test because I think you started yesterday because I listened all the video because I didn't have time, so I couldn't attend the class. But I
Okay.
was watching, yes, and that was a question number 3 or 4, I think. And yes,
Yes, it was.
yes, it was. So I mean that it's if it is continue like that, and if you add something, for example, as a video, it's really very helpful for us. Just only 1 minute or 2 minutes videos is yeah, we can improve through this way. I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
what I was practicing for TOEFL, I set a timer and I checking. Now current IBT test, you see the small clock probably in the screen.
yes, you
So
do.
you don't need to gaze. You just browse that timer
Yeah.
to check the time, and it definitely needs practice to talking 1 minute or yeah. Next
That's
time.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, just a general suggestion about practicing and preparing. At first, and this goes for not just for speaking, but for writing and reading and listening. At first, don't consider the clock at all. The first 2 or 3 times that you attempt, all of them, the speaking, the reading, the listening, pay no attention to the clock. It is better to build up your confidence and your familiarity with the types of questions and what you're doing. Walk through it. When Michael Jordan, when he does his amazing basketball plays, he just doesn't run on the court and do a turnaround twisting dive shot from the foul line. He walks through it in practice very slowly and considers exactly what he needs to do. Nobody is, it would take a miracle for somebody to just come in and do everything all of a sudden. Take your time at first. Then I agree with Ken, get yourself a clock or use a timer. I've got a timer on my browser here. Use the browser and get familiar with dealing with the clock. Another thing, dealing what Sam said concerning the tension and it's a very tense moment. It's very nervous. This may sound ridiculous, and I don't know, maybe some people can't do this, but I've taken the IELTS test a couple times. I've never actually taken an official TOEFL, to be honest. But okay, you know what I do? It's just like self-hypnosis. I convince myself it doesn't matter. I do the same thing with a job interview. I convince myself before the job interview, this really doesn't matter. I don't need this job. It doesn't really matter. And I managed to somehow I don't know, self-hypnotize myself into relaxing somewhat. It's not the end of the world if it's a total failure. It doesn't make that much of a difference. I can take the test again. I can get a different job, whatever. It's kind of mind over matter. I don't know how to explain it. It works for me. I don't know if this would work for everyone, honestly. I don't know. But
Sorry.
Yeah,
I really don't understand that. Why you are taking a TOEFL test?
me?
You are American. Yes, you are.
Oh, to learn it so I could teach it. How can I learn it if I never
Okay.
do it? It's like me, trying to teach basketball, but I've never played. Of course I have to. I'll tell you why, the IELTS test. All right, the first time I took it, you get a maximum score of 9. I only got a 7.5. I'm a native speaker. I'm an English teacher. I learned something very, very important. It's not about English. It's about learning how to take the test. So I took a course. I took a 64-hour intensive course, and I learned a lot. Took the test again, and I got perfect 9s. I got a perfect score. But I had to learn that. I did not know that just because I know English. So that's why.
Okay. It means if you know each and everything, even though vocabulary, of course, your vocabulary is better, much, much better than non-native speaker, but only the way of TOEFL.
Yeah.
How can you only the way of TOEFL? Okay.
Yes, and another general point, a general advice is you're learning not only the format of the test, but another extremely important thing is they do, and also GRE and FCE and CAE and TOEIC and IELTS, they try to trick you. When I imagine these guys devising this test, I imagine ugly little tiny old men cackling in an evil way. We'll trick them with this answer. Everyone will choose this answer. Evil little old men drinking poison, and devising these trap questions, these trick questions to basically wreck people's lives who depend on these tests to get into medical school or get to another country. Yeah, I go crazy when I think about that too much, obviously.
Okay. Okay. I have a question.
Very
Yes.
stressful, and if you think the question over 30 seconds, you cannot answer all of the question. So
Yeah, that's right.
definitely practice necessary. So
Practice.
and if you don't solve the problem, ignore the problem and just score CCCC, and you try the new question. That's time management is very important in TOEFL.
Time management. Yes, TOEFL especially. Time management is very important, and excellent point. Let me underline that. If you make a mistake, just continue. Don't spend an extra 10 seconds correcting your mistake.
And TOEIC, TOEFL, these American tests is very, very kind of pressure on people, and kind of very manual type test. We need to follow the exact concrete manual. So it's not free at all, actually. Even though America is a free country, so they require manuals.
Yes, they do. Expensive. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
The TOEFL is difficult than IELTS. Which one is difficult?
Which one is more difficult? I think this has to do with the individual student's personality. For me, I know my answer, but I know that my answer is not everyone's answer because I have worked with different students who some feel IELTS is much easier, some feel TOEFL is much easier. I think it has to do with personality. Again, TOEFL is very structured, very straightforward, and people who can deal with that kind of narrow parameter, this is exactly what you have to do, and just stick to the script. If that more fits your personality, then for some people TOEFL is much easier. It's not for me. I'm crazy. I'm all over the place. I really don't like to write or speak in a very limited, structured way, and it's a bit of a struggle for me, honestly. For me, IELTS is much easier.
IELTS is much easier.
My personality, I think.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how many tests you have done?
Are you?
Because
Well, Sam, if you include doing practice tests with students, I don't know how many thousands of hours and how many different speaking questions and writing questions I've looked at and analyzed. Thousands. I have no idea.
No. I mean that how many tests, for example, TOEFL, IELTS, or GRE, have you done?
As I
Or
said,
you-
I've never done TOEFL,
Okay.
an official test. I've done IELTS twice.
Okay.
I've only done a mock CAE, and I did a Pearson-Longman test once. I did that one.
Okay. For your job or what? Because your job.
Yeah, I was working when I took the IELTS test, for example. I was working at an academy, and they actually paid for it. So hey, you're going to pay for it. Sure, I'll take it, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Pearson Longman I took myself because I had a student who was interested in it, and he was investing a lot of money to work with me, so I felt like I really needed to know what I was talking about. So I went ahead and did it. And TOEFL and CAE and FCE I've done in workshops. I've taken workshops in continued education where we do mock tests. So I have done it before in a very, dress rehearsal, just like the real test way. So I've done that more than once. Okay, oh my goodness, we only have 10 minutes less. Let me at least summarize question 6, the summarize question. This is a lecture. Okay. All right, this is very challenging. And again, whereas questions, the questions that deal with dialogue 3 and 5, you can have an extremely very templated response. Questions 4 and 6, the ones with lecture, you don't really know what kind of lecture you're going to get. An argumentative lecture, a lecture to add more detail, a lecture to explain a process, sequential kind of lecture. You really don't know what you're going to get, so it's hard to template as so clearly. Okay, you got to listen close. You got to figure out the main idea. All right, you're not going to catch all the detail, but try to catch as much as you can. You don't have to catch all the detail. You just need enough to talk for a minute. The thing is, you got to talk for a minute. So I'll give you an example. I'll do a little mini lecture here. The narrator will say, listen to a lecture given in a sociology class. Notice as I do this that you will hear intonation, you will hear, they will do natural filler, all these kinds of things. So be prepared for that. Okay, now, oftentimes when we think of the internet, we think of it as the ultimate expression of free speech. There's no regulation of the content on the internet. People and organizations can put anything they want on the web. Also, the internet allows access to a huge amount of information. You can find almost anything you want there. But social scientists have argued that the internet is actually responsible for a new type of censorship. In most cases, censorship involves a suppression of ideas, but the internet censors material in a different way. According to these sociologists, the censorship found on the internet is subtle, but just as bad as any form of censorship. Basically, the internet censors viewpoints by having too much information. That's right, because the internet contains information from companies, organizations, individuals, and even the government. Any one viewpoint or idea can easily be buried under the tide, meaning that no one is exposed to it. Another way the internet increases censorship is that because it's so vast, information becomes harder to find. Popular search engines direct users to the most popular websites, and very seldom do people take the time to look at any more than the first 2 or 3 sites listed. Thus, these search engines are practicing an electronic form of censorship. Unpopular ideas are hidden and inaccessible to the average user. Now, I tried to remain true to how it actually would sound. You, hopefully, if I did a good job, you would notice that when I am introducing points, there are frequently transitionals or connectives, signal words and phrases that are going to have stretched vowel sounds. They're going to have higher intonation and more dramatic pitch changes. For example, also, the internet allows blah, 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 blah. In most cases, blah, 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 blah. But these are so important, you need to use them in your writing, you use them in your reading, you need to recognize them in reading and comprehend that they introduce the main important points. In listening, same thing. They're signaling you, this is the important part you have to know. Okay, basically, blah, 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 blah. That's right. Blah, 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 blah. Another way, blah, 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 blah. Okay, another way introduces the points. All right, so listen for those. Those are your cues. Focus, get ready to make notes about that. Okay, here's the question. Using points and examples from the talk, explain how the internet has contributed to censorship. So basically, all you're doing is reporting. It's as if you attend a lecture in university and you have to go back and tell your roommate who is sick what was in the lecture. That's it. That's the idea here. Okay. Looking at a kind of template to give us an idea how to attack it. State the main idea. You need to capture this. Hopefully write it down. And not just the overall idea, okay, talking about censorship, but the controlling idea. The professor discusses censorship and how it relates to the internet. All right. Template, this is a template, Sam. This right here, this table, this is a template. So this is what you're going to do.
Okay.
Idea, reason, detail,
Mm-hmm.
link between reason and the main idea, like that.
Okay. This list, not the explain. How we say that? Explanation.
Yeah.
Yes. We just say this list, right?
Yeah. Just this. Yeah. I mean, even without the detail. This.
All table we can say this is a template.
This is a template. Yeah, and you're gonna fill in the template with the actual information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
that's it.
Okay, I have a question. For example, I don't know the some area. For example, ship, no, marine, ocean, and sometimes there a paragraph. For example, you are going to appear TOEFL test, and there is a writing section, sometimes reading section. They give about the ocean, and especially the how we say that sometimes the words vocabulary is really very difficult. You don't know the meaning, right?
Right.
And sometimes astrologist, astronomy and how and how the sky and glaciers and
medical things are the ones that really
it's so difficult. How we can cover all these things? It's really difficult.
Yeah, Ken, you're right. It is up to your luck. You hope you're lucky, but okay. If it's speaking, if you have to deal with speaking, one thing is unfamiliar words. If you have a chance to hear it, or if you have time to work out pronunciation, you might write it down if you're writing notes. You might write it phonetically instead of spell it the way it's spelled. I do that like in the listening tests. Mr. Marcosi is the answer to the question. Well, I don't know how to spell Mr. Marcosi, so I just write it down in a phonetic way. Okay, this is one thing that I do, and you have to look at how the words are co-located with other words. Another good point, which you really don't have a chance to do when listening, but if it's like reading comprehension, if that's part of it, break down. I know if you're just listening to someone speak, it's impossible, really. But if you have the time to think about it, break down subject, verb, subject, verb. Remember, a simple sentence is subject, verb, complete idea. Get rid of all the adjectives, adverbs, adjective clauses, prepositional phrases. Reduce it to the very, very basic essentials. Actually, that's one of my key principles I teach about these exams. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Make everything as simple as possible. Rephrase and explain things in your head as if you were talking to a 6-year-old child, and everything seems to become so much easier. But it takes practice, really. Okay, we're out of time. I got to go because I've got another class. I'll be right back. But thank you very much, Sam, Ken, and Turkey, wherever you are. Thanks